Hello grade 3's teacher Jackie again. I'm going to help you with the corrections of solving division equations using long division. We had these numbers in our questions. Some were not actually word problems, but they were asking you what is left over. How many did he have and what was left? So if they ask for how many did he share or how many were they in total, like after sharing, that is the quotient, is the answer for how many, like they're asking for the quotient. Then when they ask for what was left over, they're actually asking you to get the remainder. That is what is left over. So we start with, now we have to know, there are so many things that we are going to learn. Some of them, they were not specifically mentioned in the videos that you watched, but I want to mention them as we go on with this division in these corrections. We have the first number is 54 divided by 3. Now, when you look at a very big number, like a 2-digit number is dividing with a 1-digit number, it's always best that we use long division. We all know now that this symbol is standing for long division. So we get the dividend, which is 54, put it inside the division symbol, and then get the divisor, which is 3, and put it outside. So one thing that you have to note, of course, the other 4 steps, they are always divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. And then you repeat the steps until you have nothing to bring down. When there is nothing more to bring down, you conclude by writing your final answer. If the remainder is 0, we don't have to say remainder 0. We just simply give the quotient. But if the remainder is not 0, for example, it's 1, it's 2. So you give the quotient, the answer, and then you also give the remainder. The remainder, we can represent it by a small r, or we can represent it by capital R. So in this case, whenever we are dividing, you have to note that we always make sure that every single digit in the dividend must be looked at. It doesn't matter whether that digit is so small and it cannot divide the divisor, or it is so big and it's able to divide the divisor. In this case, we have the first digit as 5. The number is 54, but it has digits in them. This first digit is 5. So I'm going to look at 5 as a digit and divide it by 3. That's why I'm having 5 divided by 3. We ask ourselves, how many 3's are in 5? We have only 1 3. So you bring it above the 5. So every digit must have an answer in this long division. It doesn't matter whether the answer is 0 or it's not 0. Good enough here, the first example, the answer is not 0, it's 1. So we put 1 above immediately. If this is 5, the answer above it is 1. We don't put 1 at 4, we put 1 above 5. So that it guides us that every digit must have an answer above it. So I have 5, and above 5 I have the answer as 1. Then I get to the methods. It's divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So after dividing, I have 1. Then I get this 1, I multiply. What am I multiplying? I'm getting 1 and multiplying it with the divisor, which is 3. And 1 times 3 is 3. After mastering your multiplication. So I have 5 take away 3, which is 2. 2 is so small to divide 3. So immediately we bring down. But then this 2, we are saying it's so small to divide 3 because this 2 is not part of the digits in this 54. But if 2 was part of the digits in this 54, we would divide 2 by 3 and get 0. Because we have no 3's in 2. But because it is something that we've got after subtraction, we immediately go to bringing down, and we have 24. 24 divided by 3, the answer is 8. So you get 8, put it above 4, because 4 you brought it down. So the answer for 8 above 4 is 8. Then we get this 8, we multiply it by 3, The answer is going to be 24. 24 take away 24, we get 0. So in this case, since 0 is what is remaining, we have no remainder. Whenever I have 0 as the final answer down here, it means we have no remainder in that equation. So we shall conclude and say these symbols, we all know, I told you that they mean therefore. The 3, we have a dot up and 2 dots down. In that format, it's making something like a triangle. So therefore 54 divided by 3 is equal to 18. Part B, we have 51 divided by 4. 51 divided by 4 is the same as looking at the first digit, 5 divided by 4 here. How many 4s are in 5? Only 1. Then I have 1 above 5. Then 1 times 4 is 4. We have 5 take away 4, which is 1. Then we bring down this 1, giving us 11. 11 divided by 4 is 2. Put 2 above this 1. Then 2 times 4 is 8. 11 take away 8 is 3. In this case, the final answer here is not 0. It is a 3. So we have a remainder. So we shall conclude and say that 51 divided by 4, which I've written here, with a therefore, is equal to the answer here up, which is the quotient 12, remainder, what is down here, which is 3. Part 2, we have 6 divided by 7 divided by 5. So I'll write my division under the long division. Then I'll start with the first digit, 6 divided by 5. How many 5s are in 6? Only 1. Bring 1 above 6. We multiply by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 6 take away 5 is 1. Bring down this 7. We have 17. 17 divided by 5 is 3. So I'll put this 3 above 7 because I had to bring down 7 to give me 17. So I put the 3 above 7, and then I have 3 times the divisor 5, which is 15, and the answer 17 take away 15 is 2. It's actually 2, sorry. This is a 2. So the remainder is 2. So the answer is 13, remainder 2. Then do we have 58 divided by 3. So I'll look at 5, the first digit, divide it by 3. How many 3s are in 5? Only 1. Because when I add 3 plus 3, it is 6. 6 is above 5. So I'll take only 1 3, and that will be 1. So above 5, it is 1. Then 1 times 3 is 3. 5 take away 3 is 2. Bring down 8. You have 28. 28 divided by 3. How many 3s are in 28? This calls you for remembering how to multiply. You have a 3, that is 1. 3, that is 2, which is giving us 6. Then we have 9. Those are 3 3s. Then we have 12. Those are 4 3s. 15, 5 3s. You go to another, the 6th one. I'm using my hand for the record video. So now this is the 6th one. After 15, we have 18. Then after 18, we go to the 7th one. That is 21. After 21, we go to the 8th one. That is 24. After 24, we go to the 9th one, which is 27. Then after the 9th one, we go to the 10th one, which is 30. But then we have 28. So that means that we've stopped at 9. 9 3s in 28, because 9 3s are 27, which is close to 28. So we have 9. And that's why we bring 9 above 8 to give us 9 times 3, 27. But 28 take away 27, we remain with 1. So meaning that 28 divided by 3 is the quotient 19, and the remainder is 1. Then we have 74 divided by 4. The answer is going to be, starting from 7 divided by 4, we have 1. Because we have 4, only 1 4 in 7. The first 4 is, that is 1 times 4 is 4. The second one, which is 2 times 4, is 8. But then here we have 7. So, since 8 is above 7, I will stick with only 1 4. I put 1 above 7, and then I'll have 1 times 4, which is 4. 7 take away 4 is 3. Bring down this 4. I have 34. 34 divided by 4. We start counting. The first 4 gives us 4. The second one gives us 8. The third one gives us 12. The fourth one gives us 16. That is, we keep on adding 4s. The fifth one gives us 20. Now I'm on the sixth one. The sixth one gives me 24. The seventh one gives me 28. The eighth one gives me 32. The fourth one gives me 36. But eighth is 32. Ninth one is 36. But then we have 34. So 34, before 34 we have 32, which is 8. After 34 we have 36. But then we are not looking at 36. We are looking at 34. So we look for a number of times of 4s below 34. Those are 32. And there are only 8 of them. That's why I bring the 8, because I brought down 4 to give me 34. So that 8 should be above 4. And then 8 times 4 is 32. 34 take away 32 is 2. So the answer will be, therefore, 74 divided by 4, we have 18, which is the quotient, remainder 2. Same applies to 89 divided by 3. I have 89. I start with 8 divided by 3. How many 3s? We have 3, the first 3. The first 3 is just a 3. The second 3 is a 6. The third 3 is a 9. But we are looking at 8, not 9. So it means that we have only 2 3s in 8. So we write 2. And then we write 2 above 8. 2 times 3 is 6. When I subtract 8, take away 6, it is 2. I bring down the 9. And I have 29 divided by 3, which is 9. Because I have 9 3s in 29. As I've been showing you with the fingers, so you also do the same. And then 9 is going to be written above 9, and I have 9 times 3, which is 27. So 29 take away 27, the answer is 2. So this is our remainder, this is our quotient. So therefore 89 divided by 3 is 29, remainder 2. Now we have other numbers. Now these are like 3-digit numbers. How do we deal with them? We have the first one, 352 divided by 4. And now this is the interesting one, which I want even other people have been making mistakes with this number. This one, part G, part I, there is also part K, there is part J, and part M. People have made some mistakes with those. So I'm here to help you rectify the problems. We have the first digit is 3. However much 3 is smaller than 4, but 3 is in our dividend. We have to show the division. That 3 divided by 4 is 0. So I put the answer of 3 above 3. It is 0. Have 0 times 4 and I'll have 0. Then 3 take away 0 is 3. Bring down the 5 and it gives you 35. How many 4s are in 35? There are 8. So I get this 8 because I brought down 5. 8 should be above 5. Some people have been putting 8 above 3, which is not true. Even if you haven't written this 0 here, but it is 5 that's bringing us the 8 because it's the one which is brought down to give us 35. The 8 should be above 5. That's why I'm saying every answer must have, every digit in the dividend must have an answer above it. So meaning that if we have 3 digits above here, we have to have at least 3 digits in our answer. Then we can conclude. For example, when you look at this, we have 88, 088. But 088 can be written as 88. That's why I didn't write a 0 here. But if the 0 is at the end, that's a different story. 088 is the same as 88. 880 is not the same as 88. So 880 is read as 880. It's not the same as 88. But 088 is read as 88. That's why I don't have a 0 here. So it's important that when we are working out, we work out for every digit, especially that we have just learned how to divide with long division. When you go on and you've practiced and practiced, you'll find out that this one, you don't need to have this 0 here. Just simply start with 35, but make sure that the answer is above 5, because it is this 35, we brought down 5, that has helped us come to 35 to give us 8. So that you don't actually say, now, if you put 8 on 3, above 3, and then put the other answer above a 5 for 8, then you ask yourself, now what is the one going above 8? But if you've been following correctly, you'll find that every digit will be having an answer above it. Just like the other numbers we have seen before. When you look at all these, 5, 4, we have above 5, 1, above 4, 8. 6, 7, above 6 is 1, above 7 is 3. 7, 4, above 7 is 1, above 4 is 8. Like every digit has got an answer above it. So that is what I expect for these numbers also. When if 3 is smaller than 4, we have a 0 above it. So when we have 35, we get 35 divided by 4, we get 8. We have 8 above 5. Then 8 times 4 is 32. When you subtract, we remain with 35, take away 34 is 3. Bring down that 2, we get 32. 32 divided by 4 is exactly 8. Bring 8 above this 2 because you brought down 2 to give you 32. So you put 8 above the 2. Then you have 8 times 4 giving you 34. Take away, you get 0. So since we have no remainder, our final answer, we shall say therefore 352 divided by 4 is equal to 88. Look at this other example. We have 290 divided by 4. The answer, we have the long division. We start with 2 divided by 4. The answer is 0. Then 2 divided by 4 is 0. So we have 0 above 2. 0 times 4 is 0. We subtract. We say 2 take away 0 is 2. Bring down the 9. We have 29. 29 divided by 4 is 7. 7. We have 4 going in 29 7 times. So we get 7, write it above 9. Then we have 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. So we have 29, take away 28. The answer is 1. Bring down this 0. We'll have 10 divided by 4, which is equal to 2. So 2, we write it above this 0. And then we have 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 10 take away 8 is 2. We have nothing more to bring down, so we stop. So we have the final answer as therefore 290 divided by 4 is the quotient, which is 72. I don't have to write 0. Just simply write 72. And then I write the remainder, which is 2. This one is also the same thing. We have 2 divided by 4 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0, take away. 2 take away 0 is 2. Bring down 0, we have 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Bring 5 above 0. Then 5 times 4 is 20. 20 take away 20 is 0. Bring down 7. We have 0. 7 divided by 4, which is 1. We can say 7 divided by 4. Or 0, 7 divided by 4. We have only 1 4 in 7. Bring 1 above 7. 1 times 4 is 4. Take away 0. 7 take away 4 is 3. There is nothing to bring down, so we stop dividing. So in our final answer, we have 207 divided by 4 is 51 as the quotient. Remainder 3. Something interesting here. 511 divided by 5. We have 5 divided by 5. It's 1. 1 5 is in 5. So I bring 1 above 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 take away 5 is 0. Bring down this 1. Now this one is brought down. It's not a difference after subtracting, but it is a digit that was in this dividend, and it's brought down. When it's brought down, it gives us 0 1. So everything we bring down, we make sure that we divide. So here, since I've got 0, 1, I'll get 0, 1 and divide by 5. The answer is 0. So above 5, because I don't have any 5s in 1, above this 1 here, I must write this answer 0. Then I'll get this answer 0 multiplied by 5. 0 times 5 is 0. 0, 1, take away 0 is 1. Bring down this 1, you have 11. 11 divided by 5. There are only 2 5s in 11. That's why we have the answers 2. So we get this 2 and write it above this other one. Then you have 2 times 5, which is 10. 11 take away 10 is 1. So we have nothing to bring down. We stop the division. We end up by saying therefore 511 divided by 5 is this quotient 102 and the remainder is 1. Now here is when I bring in what we call proving the answer. How do we prove the answer? Proof. Proving the answer, we get the quotient, which is 102. We multiply it by the divisor, which is 5. Now, this is what I'm going to be sending you in my next videos. How to multiply vertically, bigger numbers. But before that, I can try to teach you. So the videos will be helping you to get a wider view. We have 5 times 102. We multiply a digit per digit. We have 5 times 2, we get 10. Do I write 10 here? No. I write 0 and carry 1. Then I have 5 times 0. Any number multiplied by 0 is 0. But then we have a 1 carried up here. So whenever we have something carried, we add it. So we have 0 plus 1. That is 1. So here below this 0, we shall put 1. Then I have 5 times 1. Any number multiplied by 1 is that number 5. So the quotient times 5 is 510. But the dividend wasn't 510. The dividend was 511. How do we get to the 511? After multiplying quotient times divisor, we have to add. We have to add the remainder. When I add the remainder, I'll get the dividend. So the quotient is 102 times the divisor 5. Then when I add the remainder, which is 1, the remainder is 1. So 102 times 5, we have got 510 plus 1. We must get the dividend. When I have 510 plus 1, so I can use the